guys, it's Jacqueline from SolFood Collective, bringing you all things vegan and ways to live a healthy, holistic lifestyle. Today I'm going to show you how to make a super yummy vegan potato soup. I am so excited. Let's get started. So here we have potatoes, carrots, celery, and onion. I have about 1/4 of an onion here. I'm making a small batch for myself. Feel free to double this. I have about 1/4 of an onion. I have 2 stalks of celery. I have what would probably equal about a carrot here. This is all they had at the grocery store. And I have 2 potatoes and 2 cloves of garlic. I am going to put 1 potato in. I do want to have some chunks, so I reserved 1 potato aside that I will throw in at the very end, so that way there's still potato chunks in there. I also have some fresh herbs that I'm going to put in there, thyme, oregano, and rosemary, and I have my homemade veggie stock here. So let's get started. I'm using my Le Creuset ceramic. I love cooking in this. You're gonna turn the heat up to about, high. Turn the heat up to high. I have 2 tablespoons of avocado oil in here, and to that I am going to add my onions, my celery, and my carrots, otherwise known as mirepoix. Probably butchering that, but this is the base to all things, pretty much, to do anything. Carrots, celery, and onion, okay? Notice that I'm not adding the garlic just yet. Turn that down a little bit. So the goal here is to brown these, not to burn these. Oops, flicking it all outside my pan. It smells so good, you guys. So when the onions become translucent, you can go ahead and add your garlic. And then let that brown for about another 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna add my herbs. Since this is going, the immersion blender is gonna hit this, I'm just going to add my rosemary, just like this. You're gonna wanna pre-wash it. This was already pre-washed when I brought it home. I'm gonna do just a little bit. You don't need a ton. If you made your veggie stock, according to my recipe, you already have these flavors in there, but I just like to add a little bit more. This is a little bit of thyme that I'm stripping off the stems and adding in there, okay? And I'm just gonna add just a little bit of oregano. Oregano is so good for you. All of these herbs are super powerful herbs. Thyme actually has a lot of vitamin C, which is what we want right now. And oregano is actually antimicrobial, and that's also something we really want right now, as well as rosemary. Herbs are very, very, very healthy. So I'm just gonna add the herbs in with all of this. Really bring out that flavor. As you can see, it's browning up very nicely. Smells amazing. I have my heat on about a 6 or 7. Now I'm going to take my 1 potato. Doesn't matter how you cube it. You're just going to put the potatoes in there now. Just your 1. This is going to be enough to feed probably 4 people. So if you want to feed 6 people or more, or have enough for leftovers, just double the batch. So I have 1 potato in there that I'm browning with everything else right now. You just want to get a nice brown on this. You're not looking to really cook anything through. You just want to get it nice and brown. Like I said, this is your base. So the goal here is just to really bring out the flavors in your celery and carrots and garlic and onion and now potatoes and herbs. Now that we have this nice and browned, I am going to add my homemade veggie stock. So this is about 3 cups. It's almost 4. I'm just going to dump all of that in there. I would say use 4 cups. This was almost full. This is a quart container, so there's 4 cups, so it's just under 4. But just if you're using it from a box, a veggie stock that you've bought at the store, it has 4 cups, so just use 1 entire box of that, 4 cups. Okay, and I'm just going to give that a little stir. Now I'm going to season it with just, some pepper to flavor and some pink Himalayan sea salt to flavor. I already have some salt in my veggie stock, so no need to go overboard on that. Okay, so let that sit, cover it up. You can turn the flame to about medium. Now what we're going to need to do is make our cashew milk that I'm going to add to this to thicken it. If you have coconut milk, canned coconut milk, feel free to use a cup of that instead. But I need to make cashew milk anyway for my coffee creamer, so I'm just going to use it for this too. Okay, here we go. I took 1 cup of cashews, covered them in boiling water, and let them sit for about 30 minutes. And now I'm just going to strain that water off. You want to take that water out, okay? You're going to put it in your high-speed blender. So you're going to do that. And now I'm going to take 2 cups of filtered water and pour it over top. That's perfect. So I used 2 cups of water for 1 cup of cashews. Let's get this blended. All right, it's done. Let's take a look. Nice and creamy. So I'm just going to take the measuring cup that I used for the water. Look at that. Perfectly nice and creamy. So I'm going to portion out 1 cup. Now I'm going to take the remaining 2 cups and I'm going to add my turmeric and my cinnamon and a little bit of vanilla and some maca, and then I'm going to use that for my coffee in the morning. Okay, back to the soup. Ooh, look at that. Our soup is nice and boiled. So now I am going to stir in 1 cup of our cashew milk. And that will help to thicken this soup. But also, when we use our immersion blender and blend everything up, those potatoes are really, because they're full of starch, they're going to thicken the soup as well. There we go. I like using coconut milk, is great for this, but I do prefer cashew over coconut for the flavor. Cashew is obviously more of a nuttier flavor, where coconut milk is more of a sweet flavor. And I prefer my potato soups to be more savory. So I went ahead and made my own cashew milk for that. So we're just going to cover this and let it sit. I'm going to let this boil for about 10 minutes, come back to it, and then we'll blend it all up. Okay, here we go. I did turn the heat down to about medium low, kept the lid on, and let it come to a boil. And now I'm going to use my immersion blender and blend all of this together. Now keep in mind, if you don't have an immersion blender, you can put this in your Vitamix or whatever blender you do have, but just keep in mind that you have to leave the top off. That's why they have that little plastic thing in the very top. Otherwise, it'll explode from the heat. All right. That does take a few minutes. You want to make sure, because if you do put fresh herbs in, you definitely want to make sure you get those ground up in there. So, look at how nice and creamy that is. That is perfect. Now, because you don't have to reserve a potato to have chunky potatoes in there, okay? Totally up to you. Stir them in. I'm going to try this now. Hot, but delicious. All right, I'm just gonna put that on low and let my potatoes cook in there, and we are good to go. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Ooh, it's so hot. Look at this. Look at this consistency. It is amazing. Okay, let's give this a try. It's very hot. Wow. So much flavor. So much flavor. If you wanted to have, maybe, it's very popular to put bacon sprinkles in potato soup. Obviously, we're not doing that. We're vegan. You can always add a touch, like 1 or 2 drops of liquid smoke to this while it's cooking, and that'll have that smoky flavor going through it, as well as the nutritional yeast, that cheesy, smoky flavor. That would be delicious too. I'm keeping mine simple. However, maybe tomorrow when I'm eating my leftovers, I will add a little bit of nutritional yeast. And when I mean a little, just sprinkle a little bit in, mix it in, and then taste it and see if the flavor is what you like. And I might add a drop of liquid smoke to it as well, just to give it a little smoky flavor tomorrow. But for today, I'm keeping it simple. Delicious. I wish you guys well. Please stay home. Please stay safe. I'm going to keep coming with some amazing, simple, easy peasy recipes for you guys that are full of nutrition and are going to hopefully help get you through everything that we're going through right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and don't forget to visit SolFood Collective, SolFood Collective.com for all things vegan and ways to live a healthy, holistic lifestyle. Bye guys. Thank you.